are you doing?
Duh. I'm training. We only have 1 week left.
Of course. How could I forget? The 2022 RV Super Show is only a week away.
Will we see you guys there? Hey y'all, we're Jimmy and Lisa Cox Camping. In today's Tuesday Talks
for RVers, we're going to share with you, but first of all, let me just say, you don't have to be a Jimmy.
Yeah, because I am worn out.
Now, as self-proclaimed RV show junkies, we do want to share with you how we plan and navigate the RV show, and that way you can maybe follow some of our direction. If
Don't forget, 10 miles a day on your bike, 2 miles running, 25 push-ups.
It doesn't have to be all that, but if you spend just a little bit of time planning ahead, you can get so much more out of the show. That's what we want to share with you.
So here is step 1 of 5.
Watch the weather. I know that seems so stupid, and they don't always get it right, but keep an eye on the weather. You know, when you get to like now or a week out, keep an eye on the weather and see what it's all about. Because
the weather in Florida changes daily.
It does, but you need to be prepared. Is it going to be hot? Is it going to be cold? Is it supposed to rain?
It's hot today, so I'm sweating after that long walk, long run.
Is it supposed to rain? And I don't just mean like, you know, in Florida there's pop-up showers. I mean, is rain forecast all day for one of the days of the show. So step 1 is going to be watch the weather, see what you can expect. And step 1 will influence some of the further steps going through.
Step 2, you need to plan your attack. And that is another reason I've been training so hard.
Wrong attack.
This attack.
Wrong attack. So your plan of attack needs to, you know, take a couple things into consideration. Number 1, how many days do you plan to be there? And let me just throw in that is probably subject to change because you may find that you need more days than you think. But number 2 is going to be plan what you want to see. So what's important to you? Are you just going to see RVs because you're wanting to buy a new RV? Are you going to check out the vendors? We've discussed in previous videos that there's going to be everything from people with the trailer hitches.
A lot of vendors.
Yeah,
Tons of vendors.
To camping chairs. Like there's just all kinds of stuff. So are you going to see one or the other of those? Or are you going to see both? Because that's going to affect your day. So we usually like to do both. We like to go check out the new RVs, mostly just because I want to see what's new and upcoming.
She's nosy.
I mean, I'm not planning to buy anything right now, but you never know. So we have certain RVs we want to go see. Of course, for us, it's always toy haulers. So that's what we plan to go see. And then the vendors, we have different vendors that we want to go visit. You know, maybe he's looking to upgrade suspension or something like that. So we go through the list.
Is it time to upgrade suspension?
Dear God.
It's time.
If you go online to the show and you go to their map, there's a place in their interactive map where you can, it lists attendees, maybe is what it's called. I'm not sure, but it'll show you everybody that's going to be at the show. So you can scroll through that, and it's going to have all the RV brands as well. So you can skip through those if you're looking for vendors that you want to check out. But then it also tells you where they are on the map, because there's going to be 2 different buildings that have vendors in them, and then there's going to be some that are scattered amongst the RVs. But for the most part, for the most part, the vendors are in the building. So let's backtrack to weather and where the weather comes to play. So
weather does a lot in the RV show because it's outside and inside. So the bottom line is,
I mean, we've been here when it was cold. Like they had roads closed down because of black ice.
Ice, they were closed.
Which is kind of funny when you're in Florida. But and then we've been here years that it is so hot, like today, where you're just sweating your butt off. And so here's the thought, guys. If you're wanting to do vendors, which are indoors, and you're wanting to do RVs, which are outdoors, plan accordingly. If it's supposed to be really hot today, get there early. Check out the RVs first while it's cool outside. Then go inside to the air-conditioned buildings and see the vendors once it gets super hot.
They will have the air conditioners or the heat on, whichever way it is, outside in the campers. But you know how it is in these campers. If the doors are open.
But so that's also another point, because if you're looking at a specific RV and you're wondering how maybe the AC is going to perform, then maybe you want to plan to be outside in the heat or outside if it's cool. So think about all of those things, because weather just continues to be an important part of this whole process. So plan out where you want to go. Plan your day accordingly based on the weather. So what we usually try to do is, on a big show like Tampa, we try to schedule 3 days, 2 at a minimum. And, that's going to be different for everybody. But so our plan of attack typically is this. We have a list of places we want to see, people we want to talk to on day 1. Based on the weather, we either do inside first or outside first. And we go and visit all those places. We go and check out the vendors. We go into the RVs. Keep in mind, if you're searching for an RV, take pictures, take notes. This is your chance.
So we always carry a camera with us. We will film as much as we possibly can. We will take all the pictures we can. Lisa will open them up, open drawers up. I'll take a picture of the drawer. She'll take her handy dandy tape measure. And I'm telling you, that's another thing you guys need to carry is a tape measure. Measure everything.
Are important.
So we open up the drawers. She will take pictures of what that drawer size is. If we go up to the bed, a lot of people don't realize king beds in campers aren't the same as a king. So if we're looking at a certain camper, we'll take pictures and measurements all the bed sizes, so we'll know.
And you don't
what
have to
size
be
that bed
fancy
was.
and take a camera. Like, use your cell phone if you need to.
Yeah, cell phone cameras.
I have been known to take a picture on my phone and then measure the inside of a cabinet, and then, like in the edit function on your picture, scribble the measurements in there so I'll know. Because let me tell you, it sounds silly, but the camper that we have, one of the prerequisites was there had to be a cabinet that would hold my crock pot. And there's nothing worse than you take your crock pot with you all the time, or your Instapot.
When's the last time we used our crock pot?
Well, but at the time we did. And so
now it's the air fryer.
Now it's the air fryer. But there's nothing worse than you buy this camper and you're so excited and you get home and then you start putting stuff in, and like you can't live without your Instapot or your air fryer, and it won't fit anywhere.
That's the good thing about a camera phone now. You don't have to have the big high-dollar cameras that we all carry around.
No.
Your cell phone will take everything you need. Don't be afraid to take too many pictures, because thank goodness now with a cell phone you can delete them. You don't have to worry about having them developed. So take pictures, write everything down, use a little notepad, use note in your phone, or however you take it.
Or record a video and even talk about it if you want to, see what it is. Then what we normally do is day 1 we'll eat dinner, and so at dinner that night
all about RVing.
We will pull out all of our pictures. We will pull out any brochures we've picked up along the way. We will discuss everything that we have learned on day 1. Now, then we're going to make a list at that time for what we're going to do on day 2. So say you're looking for an RV and you've gone in and you've measured and you've taken pictures and all that stuff. So that evening when we're discussing it, it may come up that, well, we forgot to look at this or we forgot to check that.
So we pull out the camera.
So we pull out the camera and we go through it, and maybe we didn't get a picture of that. So that's when we're making our list for day 2. So on day 2, we're going to say, hey, we want to go
day 3
back to that RV. Or maybe when we were going through the different vendor areas, we saw something and went, oh, I'd kind of like to check that out. But they're not on my list for day 1, and they're not like on the important list. So we'll come back on day 2. So that's how our day 2 list comes to be. And then typically our day 3 is just kind of a walkthrough and a recap. And that's just what we do. You don't have to do it, but you need to, if you're going to do that, stay focused, like stay on your list, because if not, you go to one vendor, you go to 2 vendors.
I'm staying focused.
And then you see something and you have that squirrel moment and you've run off to another.
You have a squirrel moment? No way.
You've run off to another vendor.
That's why we have to write everything down, because it's squirrel moments. She says, oh, look at that over there. Oh, look at that over there.
And that's great if you're not on a time crunch. But if you only have a certain amount of time to take in everything you want to do, you need to stay focused on your list, because you don't have time for squirrel moments.
Let me tell you one thing. If you go on one day, you're not going to see it all. You better
have a plan for 2 days. Just plan for 2 days at least.
Step 3. You need to be happy with the choices you made.
So this is more so geared to the people that are looking for an RV.
Are we looking for an RV?
No, we're not looking for an RV.
You keep saying RV. We're looking for an RV.
I'm always looking.
So we're looking.
I'm not really in the market at the moment. So, but if you are looking for an RV, and that's why you're going to the show, because you're looking to pick out an RV, and after step 1 and step 2, you've narrowed it down. So let's say we're at the end of day 2 and you've narrowed it down, and you've decided that this is the RV for you.
This is the fun part.
This is when you move in.
Move in?
Move in.
I thought you said we weren't buying an RV.
Well, we're not, but you might be. And if that's the case and you've narrowed it down and you've decided before you sign the paperwork, before you sign on the dotted line,
check out the bathroom.
Move in. And when I say move in, I mean move in. Move in as if it's yours.
So I can use the bathroom.
Don't use the bathroom. I've heard that people do that, and it's really kind of disgusting. So let's not do that. But
the RV show is not Porta-Johns on wheels. First of all,
no, please don't use the
every
bathroom
year
in an
we
RV
hear
that's
about
on
it.
display. It's nasty.
There's Porta-Johns out there. Use them. Don't use the RVs.
Go into the bathroom, especially if you have any physical impairments, that you have special needs, or you're super tall and you don't always
wide shoulders
fit,
and don't fit in the
or
shower.
you have these broad shoulders and the shower is too narrow. Get in the shower, shut the door, or if it's a curtain, shut the curtain. See if you have enough height, see if you have enough width, see if you have enough room to turn around and be comfortable. See if when you get out of the shower you're going to have room to get dressed, if it's a separate room that you can't walk from there into your bedroom and get dressed. Try it out as if it's yours.
The one thing we have learned is we sit in the recliners. We'll sit in the recliners, we'll kick the recliners out, and as you're coming in, you're walking by,
if he has to put his feet down every time
that's not
I want to walk through to go to the bathroom,
that's not my camper.
Or every time the kids come out of the bunk room or whatever, if somebody has to move every time, that's probably going to not be convenient. So sit down where you think you're going to sit, kick the recliner out if that's what you're going to do, and make sure that it works. And the bed.
We can try out the bed.
Don't try out the bed, but we used to be adamant on it had to be a king size bed, and we have since switched to a queen, and the amount of space.
And I still can't, she's still too close to me.
The amount of space that we gained that makes it easier to get in and out of the bed, or to make the bed, or to get in between the bed and the closet is crazy. So
now I sleep on the floor.
Whatever. Nobody sleeps on the floor. But whatever it is, go into the bedroom, see if you've got room to maneuver, see if you're happy with, that. If it was yours, get in and out of the bed, see if it's easy. And then go down to the living room, the bunk room, whatever, and think about it. So with us, we do that. We move in, we put the recliners out, we try everything out.
We actually sit in there for 35 to 40 minutes, maybe to an hour, and we listen to people as they come in and they go, oh no, I hate this because
or
of
it doesn't have this, or I wish it had that.
And then we look at each other and go, ooh, we never thought about that.
But something you also need to think about is it's just the two of us. So we can go in and be perfectly comfortable. And 98% of the time, it's just the two of us. So that's what's important. But
we do have dogs.
Well, see, there's that. So are the dogs going to be with you? Not at the RV show? Probably not. Is there going to be room on the floor for their beds, or whatever they come with?
My dogs don't sleep on the floor.
Well, two of them do. One
of
them doesn't. As you can see,
there's dog hair all over you.
Yeah, well, what are you going to do? If you have kids that are going to be with you, like you have a bunkhouse, whatever, make sure that on that cold day or that rainy day when everyone has to be inside, is there a place for everyone to comfortably coexist?
Because I'm going to tell you, when you go to the shows, the salespeople there,
a
lot of them don't camp, and they go, why do you need that? Why do you need this?
Well, when you're camping, you're going to be outside all the time.
When it's cold and it's raining, you're not outside. You're inside, and all the kids are watching TV. They're all on their game station, their game controllers, or you just got to be ready.
They're online.
Yeah, you got to be ready for them to be inside. So if it doesn't fit while you're there, it's not going to fit when you own it. So think about those.
And so that brings us to a point of size matters, guys. It's very important. There's nothing worse.
Now you tell me.
There's nothing worse than getting an RV, and for instance, we'll say the two of us try it out and go, this is perfect, everything's great, and you get it, and then you take the kids out, or the grandkids, or both, for the first trip.
All of a sudden it got small.
And there was a similar floor plan that we could have gotten that was just a couple feet longer, but you think, oh, we don't need anything that big. I'm scared to pull it that much longer. Let me just tell you that it's not that big of a difference, and most people get really comfortable with the extra 2 or 3 feet on the RV. And if you're going to have more than just the two of you, you need to be sure you're getting enough space, because there's nothing worse than getting out there the first time and going, this is awful.
It happens all the time, when you used to have your sticks and bricks and you get that garage or you get that shed and you put that riding lawnmower in it and you go, wow.
We
All of
should've got
a
the bigger
sudden
one.
we should have went 2 more feet bigger. So think about that as you're going out there and you're looking at these campers. It may look huge when you get it, but as soon as you start moving in, all of a sudden size matters.
And unless you're going from like a travel trailer to a fifth wheel, like say you're at a travel trailer or you're in a fifth wheel and you just want like the same type of thing but a few feet longer, it's not usually that big of a price jump either. So it's mostly just you and your head being comfortable pulling it. And from experience, I'm going to say it's probably not that big of a deal if you're going to be so much more comfortable
you went from
when you're
pulling
in the
16
RV.
feet landscaping trailers to a 45-foot tall hauler. Can you do it?
And it's really, the first couple times I was a little nervous about it, but then after that
the cool thing about it stays behind you.
It does. So size matters. Move in, get comfortable with your decision. Number 4.
Love your feet.
You love my feet?
Not hardly. Have you seen those feet? Woo. Hope you get them done before the show. Woo.
On a serious note, love your feet. Here again is one of those weather things. Pay attention to the weather. Flip-flops sound like a great option until it pours rain and then your feet are all nasty and wet the rest of the day. Or maybe that doesn't bother you. Maybe it's going to be super cold and you wear flip-flops and your feet are freezing. Maybe it's going to be super hot and you wish you'd worn your flip-flops.
Bottom line, whatever you're going to wear, you better check the weather and you better make sure they're comfortable because you're going to put some steps in.
You're going to put some miles in walking. And there's nothing worse than like him saying, "Oh, can we just go look at one more thing?" Like he always does.
The steps aren't the thing that bothers us the most. It's more of the in and out of the camper. Talking about working your tailbones
and up and down, up and down. But here's the thing. So let's say the show's still open and whoever you're with wants to go check out one more thing and it's clear on the other side of the park.
Are you saying this happens?
I'm just saying. And you say, I would love to go see that, but my feet are dying and I don't think I can stand to walk that much further and back. I'm not even sure how I'm going to make it to the car to go home. So
I'm not carrying you.
Love your feet. It's very important when you're going to be on them all day.
Plus, it's concrete, asphalt, up and down.
Yeah,
so
it's all hard flooring. It's nothing.
Not
it's
soft.
nothing nice until you get in the camper, and then it's just wood. So, yeah, love your feet. Number 5.
The final one.
Have fun, guys. It's not work. It shouldn't be hard. I mean, it's going to be hard on your feet, but at the end of the day,
it's going to be hard on your brain and your head. You're going to have a headache when you leave.
It is.
Especially if you're looking for an RV.
But at the end of the day, take it all in. See as much as you can see. Meet as many people as you can meet. Talk to as many people as you can. And the most important thing truly is take it all in and have fun.
See, I see it differently.
What do you think?
I think the most important thing is to find us camping.